Hey guys, it's Cream, aka Miss Cream of the Crop, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cream. And on this episode, I am going to be conversing with Qamil, so dope. And if you guys have been following me for a really long time, if you have been a part of Cream's world for a long time, then you guys know that Qamil is not new to my platform. She has been on the throne with me on the Elite Radio show before a really long time ago when I had my big office at the Agora. And so now she's back and she's doing so many amazing things. So I'm really excited to reintroduce her to my core audience that's been here for a really long time. And I'm excited to introduce her to my newer audience who may not have known who Qamil was, or is, I should say. So I'm really excited to tell you guys about all of the amazing things that she has coming up. And you guys know that I'm one of those women who loves to be surrounded by other amazing women, especially amazing Black women. I actually enjoy showcasing, embracing, and introducing the world to other amazing Black women. Sometimes I want to keep them to myself, but what good is that going to do? So, guys, welcome Qamil, so dope, to my platform. I need one of those clap buttons.
Very happy to be here.
Hi, Qamil. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. Wow, you brought up when I was on your show back when I was in a band.
Yes.
I was the Lauryn Hill of the band.
You were the Lauryn Hill of the band. You were in the Columbus Fugees.
Shout out to 8-Bit Genetic Code. That was around Ohio Hip Hop Award season 2014. Yeah, that was, I think, 2014.
Like I said, that was a long time ago. It is 2022. Isn't it crazy how fast time flies?
So fast. So much happened in between then and now.
Yes.
Amazing.
Like,
it's amazing.
You are a woman now.
Yeah.
Like
a real grown up.
Yeah. I mean, you were a real woman then, but you're like a woman now.
Grown.
Yes. So many amazing things have happened for you since then, and some not so amazing things have happened since then as well. But we really want to highlight life has, like I tell you, my favorite thing to say now is life has been lifing. Life has been lifing.
Yes, it has. It's been making all of us really appreciate the good times more than ever.
Absolutely. If this pandemic hasn't taught us anything, it definitely should have taught us to have more gratitude. If I don't know what to say to anyone that hasn't learned to have gratitude. I'm not really sure what's been going on with you if you haven't learned gratitude between this past 2.5 years, because we're going to focus on positivity right now. But for me, I just think the biggest word that comes to mind is just gratitude and appreciation, just gratitude and appreciation just for life itself, not for things, but just for life.
For life.
Just life, and also gratitude and appreciation for the right people. Not just people, but the right people.
Yes. All the lessons. It's like so much. I think it's just been a really eye-opening period if you are someone who is like in tune of what's really going on around you. Eye-opening about the world, eye-opening about people like in your orbit. Like there was so many revelations during this period. So I'm very interested to see what the next phase of, our descent is going to bring.
Absolutely. And I noticed that 2022 seems like it's the year of the woman. I noticed that so many of us have really just come into ourselves this year. A
Mhm.
lot of us during the pandemic really just found who we were, even though we thought that we knew who we were.
Yeah.
And we thought like, oh, we were just like, oh, I already know who I am. I am woman. I am here.
Mhm.
Hear me roar. I am she. But I
I
think
know
that
who
a
my
lot of
people
us,
are.
exactly, exactly. And
No, we didn't.
yes,
Real shit.
we just knew who our people were, and you couldn't tell us
Yeah.
anything. But I think last year broke a lot of us down. Like really broke us down.
All the way.
Like, and it's in our, everyone was broken down in our own way.
Mhm.
And it broke us down to where we needed to be. And it kind of sucks to say that, but it was just like, it's like, you know, how your mom, or like if you have like a church family, and they'll say, God
Mhm.
keeps talking to you, and eventually he's going to just show you in the worst way
Yep.
that you haven't been listening to him. And sometimes it's not that you weren't listening to him on purpose, it's just you really didn't know that he was trying to
Yeah.
show you something. And
Yep.
then when he shows it to you in the worst way, you're like, oh, that's what you were
Like
telling me.
completely strip away everything. So for like people like us who are in entertainment, you don't have really that to hide behind because not as much stuff is going on. You know, people are peopling. You're like, oh, I thought, okay, not that. And then on top of that, we had sick loved ones, and some of us got sick, and it was just this like everything is just we're just on the floor. Well, okay, and we had two options. You know, when you're at that bottom point, you're either going to figure it out, start to rethink about like who am I, like who am I, like what do I really want, what do I not want, start trimming away some of the extra things we be doing, and then you can do that, and then here we are, like okay, whew, okay, ready to proceed and to really with clarity, or it can just completely destroy you. Those are the only
Exactly.
options coming out of that.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like,
Yeah.
um, when it comes, you're like, no more. But after it's over, you're like, oh my gosh, I never thought I would say this, but I needed that.
Yeah.
You're like, when it's over though, when it's over and you got through it, you're like, I really needed that. You're just like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really needed that because all this time, and it's like you're reflecting on your life. You're reflecting back to
Mm-hmm.
2014. You're reflecting back to 2012,
Yeah.
2008, 2017, and you're
Yeah.
just thinking like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you know,
Yeah.
and you're
It's
feeling
like
like
getting
that.
crazy in some storms. Like it's just
You're feeling like that
wind.
Mr. Krabs
Okay, a little bit of
meme.
rain, little tornado in there, little like
Yeah,
everything, and then when that sun comes out, it's like, whew, okay.
exactly.
A
Yes,
lot of
you're
stuff, got flushed away in the sea
yeah,
during that, and that's true. What was meant to go have gone, and
exactly.
needed to be there.
Yeah. And you're thinking back, like I said, you're thinking back and you're feeling like that Mr. Krabs meme where you're like, oh my gosh, all these things were being revealed to me all these years, and for
Yeah.
some reason I just didn't get it. But now you're just like grateful, and that's what I mean by um wait, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't know where the screen went, but I'm still here.
Okay. All right. So that's what I mean by right now just having the utmost gratitude, because now you're grateful for going through all of that, because you're just like, I get it now.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm in a new space in life to where this test is completely different, and I get it now. Like I have this new outlook on life.
It taught me like the way I react to certain things now
Yes.
that have really stirred me up. It's just like I have lost the worst of the worst, you know, like, so that little stuff, it's fine. Just whatever. It's cool, moving along. And something that I may have been on Facebook 4 years ago typing a whole monologue about someone who wronged me, and I'm just like, hey, I mean, whatever.
Yes, it's like your happiness is like happiness now. It's like,
yes.
It's like a newfound joy. You know, for me, it's just like, I just feel, it's like I've never been an unhappy person, but for some reason this year, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. And only someone like yourself that has gone through something that was just devastating can understand someone else saying, this is the happiest I've ever been in my life. Because you can say you were happy. Like, I was happy. I've been happy. I've had happy things happen to me.
It's kind of peace. Like, oh, this is different. This is nice. And it's kind of almost a side eye, though. Like, am I supposed to be like
yes.
Yeah. Like, this is coming around. Okay. Doesn't matter what's coming around the corner because we can do crazy stuff. So we know that we can make it through some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff.
Yes. Yes. It's like, that's what I said. Last year, a lot of us went through some crazy things, and it was just like we were supposed to do that in order for us to receive all these amazing things that we're receiving this year, so that we don't have to worry about what's around the corner, because it's just like, if you knew what I survived, this is all good. Like, I know I can survive it because I already. Man, listen, I'm
it's like, are my kids good? Is the kid good? The kids are good? Okay, then.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel myself, I am still alive. Everyone I love is still alive. We're, like you said, the kids are great. Everyone else, significant other, this great, great. All right, we're doing great. You know.
And then when it's not great, we'll figure it out and we'll get through.
Exactly. And I think that was the lesson that we were all supposed to learn in going through what a lot of us went through these 2.5 years, was that you can go through it and grow through it and be okay. And I think that was the opposite of what, we're not going to get political, but I think that's the opposite of what the government thought was going to happen with the citizens of America. I think they thought we were all going to be just afraid, but we all, or most of us, figured it out.
And are much tougher.
Much
tougher and much more aware of what we're looking at. It's like, you know, in watching the news, it's like, but what's the real story? What's kind of see? Show me the live feed. But before, it was just like, oh my God, they said on CNN like this. So let me see what the people are saying. That was definitely something that I see now, even with everything that's going on with Ukraine and Russia. Like, people are not just so quick to just run with what Fox is saying, what CNN is saying. There's a new, I think, wokeness in general of how we receive information, and I don't think that they count on that happening at all.
Exactly. You know, people also realize that they can survive without being stressed out at work. It was like, oh, they were like, I could actually pay my bills and love what I do. I could actually knit, which is what I could actually quit this. I've always loved knitting, and I figured out how to knit and sell my knit work and quit this job and be at home and live a productive life. I never thought that I could actually do this because I was always scared into thinking that you can't survive doing what you love while being at the house. And now they're pushing.
Which is like, people, especially women, have been doing stuff like that from the house for centuries. We couldn't always be in the workforce. We couldn't always work at the warehouses or the offices. Black women to get a job just as a freaking secretary at some point was nearly impossible. So what they did, laundry or babysat or cooked So the dinners, like, it's nothing new. This is not new. We do this. We survive.
We've been doing this, and I think that's the other reason that they didn't want people to like this is because you've always told us that that wasn't something to feel like it was of worth. You didn't want us to feel like being at home made you have worth. And now everyone is seeing that all these things that women, no matter what their race, but mainly minority women, which we're not minorities, but black and brown women, and even some Asian women have been doing this from home. They've been, like you said, selling dinners and, you know, finding ways to, I was going to say, finding ways to supplement income from doing things from home, but you always told them that they didn't have worth because they were at home or they didn't have jobs that looked like what other women of other complexions were doing. So you made these people not have worth because they didn't do what these people that have other complexions were doing. But now all of a sudden, everyone of every complexion, they were all at home now. So now everyone's worth was at the same level. But they were all surviving. So now it's like all these things that you were telling everyone, now they were being proven to be lies. So now you had to make it seem like it wasn't a lie. And it's like, oh no, it's because of we're giving too much money. Let's stop giving them money. Oh no, it's because we're doing. And then,
so people, you can also with people just working from home for companies. Oh, so you don't have to have like people actually come clock in 9 to 5 and you tell them when they can go pee for them to be productive employees.
It was because they were being more money. Everything was being proven to be a lie. Staying at home, being worthless was being proven to be a lie. Having to monitor everyone because they weren't able to monitor themselves was being proven to be a lie. Everything was being proven to be a lie. And it's just like, okay, well, what is the next thing that we can do to make them believe what we want them to believe? And it's just like, it's all crumbling. But I really just believe that this is a year of certain women because I'm noticing that a lot of us are harnessing our powers and really just coming into our real worth. I think before we thought we knew our worth, but I'm noticing that a lot of us are coming into our real worth, and it looks amazing. I love seeing women shine. I love seeing
there's a fearlessness that is like, because it's like, listen, why not? Okay, why not? This is who I am. This is what I like to do. I'm going to do it. Are you going to buy this stuff? Yes, you are. I'm going to make sure you see it, or are you going to come to this, or are you going to do this? But I'm just going to do it because why not? Because all of this can be gone like that. And then what did you do?
Exactly.
Why not?
I love that. I love that. Why not? And I think that's what most of us are saying. Why not? Why not? I think before our answer to our why not was, well, my husband's going to be mad. My boyfriend's going to be mad. My girlfriend's going to be mad. My mom, my sister. We had answers. We used to have answers for the why not. Our why not used to be, well, I have kids. I don't have time. It was there. We always had an answer for why not. And this year, our answer for the why not is why not. That is the answer. Why not? Period. Why not?
It's not now, when. It's not who. It's not me who. It's like that kind of attitude. Like, just go for it. And there's a whole lot of go for it. And I love seeing it too. Like, it's exciting.
I love it.
I see a black woman, and I don't be specific because I don't have a problem with that, or women of color, announce some things that they're doing. It's like, okay, how can I support you? I'm going to share your stuff. You know, just popping in a story because what it takes 3 seconds to pop my stuff in your story. Because it women doing them, doing great. It's good for all of us. Makes us all look good. It really does.
Absolutely. And I think people fail to realize also that women, we control the vibes of the house. We control the vibes of the home. And it's like, yes, the men are the head of the household, but the
Mm-hmm.
women control the vibes. And what I
Yes.
mean by that is that we control the love. We control
Mm-hmm.
just the vibes, you know? Like
Yeah.
we control the vibes of we
That's the tone.
control
What you do.
just the vibes. So when women are happy, that's where the whole happy wife, happy life comes from. And it doesn't, and that's not even in the sense of um misgendering anyone or just saying that households
Mm-hmm.
consist of a man and a woman, because most relationships, no matter what the gender roles are, most people take on a more feminine vibe and a
Yeah.
masculine vibe. So you can have two women and one has a more masculine vibe and one has a more feminine vibe. So
Yeah.
a feminine vibe controls the vibe.
Yeah, people
And
take
when,
that thing super literally. Like that's
yeah,
not. It doesn't
and it's
mean
not, yeah, not
only
even,
her happy to have at her. Everyone
yeah,
else is miserable. As long as he's cool, it means just like you're implying. If she is the one who is controlling the vibe in the house, it's kind of setting the tone of what kind of energy we were going to have in this house. If she
yes.
is happy, that's going to rub off
Yes,
on everybody in the house.
yes. Whomever controls the feminine vibe in the home
Mm-hmm.
controls the
Yeah.
vibe of the spirit of the home. And
Yeah.
if that vibe is positive and that vibe is happy, then that is a happy home.
Yeah.
And that is why you have to make sure as a woman that you give yourself, which we're going to talk about later on in this, self-love, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't love others until you know
Yeah.
your worth, until you fully love yourself. So a lot of times when there's some dysfunction in the home, it's usually stemmed from whomever has the feminine energy in the home. If she hasn't fully
It's
found
true.
herself and she hasn't fully
Yeah.
come into herself, the vibes in the house will be off. She has to love herself enough, because you can say, well, what if the man is bringing this energy? What if he's, because if I'm the feminine energy in my home, I'm not going to allow a negative male energy to be here. I have to love
Yeah.
myself enough to not allow
You
that
can't come in
negative
there
male energy.
stomping and smacking people. Yeah, you're not. It's not gonna happen. And that's
Exactly.
really what it goes like this overhead,
Yes.
but it's really that simple.
Yes. Yes.
From the base level, a woman who loves herself and loves her household and the people in it is not going to allow anybody to be up in there acting a fool. It's like never
Exactly.
gonna happen. Yeah,
Exactly. And it's not to blame anyone for someone else's
not no.
lack. It's not
Mm-hmm.
blaming her for someone else's lack. You are responsible for making yourself a whole human being. Everyone is
Mm-hmm.
responsible for themselves. Everyone is
Yeah.
responsible for themselves. But when you are whole, you only accept other whole individuals. So we are
Mm-hmm.
all responsible for ourselves and bringing a whole person to another whole person. But for the most part, a whole woman spirit is only going to accept another whole spirit, and that's going to make
That's
a fruitful household.
period.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Then you have whole kids and the
Exactly.
whole dog if you got a dog and
Your
everybody's
plant,
just,
you're gonna
having
have
a great time.
a fruitful plant, a fruitful, like you said, fruitful pets.
Your plants are
Everything,
flourishing. It's so good.
your house is gonna flourish. Absolutely,
Yeah.
everything flourishes when the feminine spirit flourishes. So speaking of flourishing, and we talked about the fact that we've known each other since beyond 2014, but that was the last time we did an interview.
Yeah.
So tell us how Qamil So Dope has flourished over these years and what you've
I
done.
really, yeah, let's see, back 2014, I was about 3 years into my journey as CEO of So Dope. So everything was really new because I had two things going on. I had just really was like 3 years into being an artist, like for real, like I'm really doing this kind of artist, and running a company trying to put events together. And then next thing I know, I'm in this band. It was just like kind of really learning and trying to learn what it was that I enjoyed or didn't enjoy. So 2014. Let's see, I was at South by Southwest roaming around. Had one kid. It was great. But since then, in the many years since then, Soul Dope has grown more than I could have imagined. We just had our 10-year anniversary last September, which I'd already had a vision of getting there, but when it actually happened, I was like, oh, wow, it's been 10 years of hosting events, paying artists. I'm very big on supporting indie artists of all genres, but really R&B is my thing. But we had a long-running open mic for like 4 years, and personally, as an artist, I've been doing great, doing everything that I wanted to do, singing all the places and releasing multiple projects, and it's doing community work. It's just been like a whirlwind in that first 10 years of everything that I really was like, this is what I want this to be. It really happened. So then it just kind of leaves me now like, okay, so what's the next 10 look like? Because that was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was great support from people along the way. Like I have really loyal people who have been coming to shows, and if they see So Dope and they see that I'm putting something together, it's always how can I support? You need some money for this community. They're like, what do you need? They automatically buy tickets, and that's what you want. Is building community is what I think that I've mostly done successfully, because it was never about money. It was always about contributing to the culture here in Columbus, in Ohio, in the Midwest, period. And when I went into it with that attitude and was like really loving, caring about people, caring about artists, I think that's why I'm still here, really.
Yeah, I can attest to that. As far as being steadfast with this, mainly because of caring about people and caring about artists. Because it definitely is not about the money for me. Because if it was, girl, listen, I'd have shut down this side of my business a long time ago and stayed on the other side of my business. These people better.
Where's my yacht?
These people better be happy I care about people and artists. Because if I didn't, I would have shut this.
Flip side to caring about artists, like they be annoying sometimes too. Like it's not all like.
Listen, especially as hard-headed and as I don't even want to use some of these adjectives that I like to use for some of these artists as
listen,
a lot of these artists
like,
are very
I booked them for a thing like, okay, send me your music, like this. And I'll never forget. They were like, just Google me. And I'm like,
that's what I was going to say. Like, they are very, it's like, sir,
amazing.
Ma'am.
Amazing. Amazing.
You guys are,
And not everybody, guys.
Not everyone. That's why I said a lot of. Not all. They're entitled is the word that I was looking for. A lot of these artists are very entitled. And it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you like this? I don't understand. You do realize. Okay, let me go back to this interview where Mary J. Blige did the Super Bowl and she was being interviewed. And I don't know if people know this, but you don't get paid for doing the Super Bowl. And Mary J. Blige is Mary J. Blige. It's MJB. She's Mary J. Blige, okay? And the fact that, but the 411, hun, like, what? I mean, you're all I need, Mary J. Blige. Like, need I say more? She's Mary J. Blige, first of all. And the fact that someone of her caliber was still appreciative of the opportunity and understood what it meant to have the opportunity to perform at Super Bowl. She didn't think twice about not getting paid. She said, do you understand what an opportunity like performing at the Super Bowl is and what that brings to me? She's like, I didn't think twice. She's like, no, I don't get paid for doing the Super Bowl, but the opportunities that doing the Super Bowl will bring to me is worth it.
And
And
this
for
is
her
Mary who has all the
this is
opportunity.
Mary J. Blige, like, what are you talking about? What? You said the opportunities that the Super Bowl would bring to you as if you don't already, or what? This is Mary J.
What
Blige.
else could she do? What else could she possibly, like, what else? And this is Mary J. Blige.
So,
People let her know.
how can you, sir, tell me to Google you when all I'm asking you to send me is an EPK and you're single?
Sure stuff.
It's
not my stuff. Your stuff.
And you do realize that even when people like Beyonce and everyone else performs at events, their team sends over their show and their stuff. When MTV and all these people book these major artists, they still have to send their show over because they have to put the show together, make sure that their show stays within the time frame for the airtime for whatever station they're airing it on. I just don't understand the entitlement of some artists that are indie. But you know what, Qamil, that tells me is that they aren't aware of the industry that they're in. They haven't done their homework, and they don't understand.
You go to conferences and get on YouTube University. There's so much information on how to do things out there.
Or attend networking events.
Do not tell me to YouTube your music and, like, I got to download it too. Like, I'm not about to.
I'm already working to put this event together so that you can be seen, and you want to add extra work to my plate, you're no longer invited. Click, sorry. I'm going to go to the next person. That is.
I've had as good experience, positive experience with artists, more so than these, but these one-offs, they be like.
Yes. So let's talk about positivity. So let's combat that with some positive vibes.
The positive ones are the reason why I continue.
Yes, I was going to say that. I have had some amazing experiences, which is why you and I are still in communication. Like I just said, you've been on my show. The first time I interviewed you was, like we said, was maybe like 2014, 2015. It's 2022, and we're sitting down, and I still support you. I've purchased your music. I've downloaded your music. I've played your music. I've supported you. I've supported 8-Bit. And so for all those one-offs of artists that are entitled, you do have artists like yourself that are super dope, very appreciative, show gratitude, and actually show up and give you the stuff that you ask them for. So I'm grateful for that.
You don't have to go look for our email stuff. And I think for me, it's having the duality of being an artist and being somebody who works on the back end of it and books artists and does all that stuff. So I know what annoys me, and I don't want to be that person. So it's like I'm training to do a few things at the same time. So it's just like when I do work with artists, like the artist I'm working on the event that we're going to talk about, and they're on it. And I appreciate it so much. And it makes me excited to keep going and to, like, forget the ones who, like, I'll just make a note, like, I will never, like, never again. Never again. Who else is out here who's going to send me the stuff and promote the stuff and, you know, actually be engaged and involved in this process of whatever it is that we're trying to do, because even if it's an interview like we're doing, when it is ready to go, I want to share stuff, because why would I not? Well, it's not just your job. It's a team effort. Entertainment is a team effort. There's so many things going on. You got to work together to maximize.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. A lot of artists need to see it as a team effort, and that team effort maximizes the outcome of the event, and they need to understand that. It maximizes the outcome of the event. You know, Beyonce is a major artist, but imagine if Beyonce never told the Beehive that her tour was coming up. How were they supposed to know? Like, of course, you know, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, they have those fans that are very avid about their faves, and they're going to go searching for things and promote it. But at the same time, their fans still want them to at least say, hey, guys, I got a tour coming up. They at least want them to announce it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one announcement, at least let them know you have a tour coming up.
I'm gonna be doing
exactly.
this.
At least let them say, hey, guys, guess what? I'm going to be here on this date. They want to see you say that you're going to be performing in their city or their country.
Let me know.
Let me know. So, exactly. So I don't get this thing where some artists, indie artists especially, feel the need that they don't have to tell people that they have a show. Like, I never understood that. Like, why don't you think you need to tell people that you're performing?
Why are you performing? Like, what are you, when people, you want to build up this fan base, right, so that they're excited. I know, like, if my favorite artist posts anything, example, BJ the Chicago Kid, lightweight upset. He posts anything, I want to know. Did you put something on YouTube? Are you going to be in Ohio? Like, I want to know those things. And indie artists, they underestimate their fan bases, the people that follow them, and don't nurture those relationships because they're so busy trying to chase the next fan. Well, you got these people who will rock with you. You get 100 people that will rock with you forever. You want to, like, communicate with these people and let them know what's up. And a lot of people don't, and it makes no sense. Or they're too busy telling other artists what they're doing. Like, they don't care. They're doing the same thing you do.
It's like, sir, you're telling me that you're cooking up something. I'm cooking up something, too. Tell these people over here that don't cook like we cook because they actually want to be fans. It's like, I rock with you as an artist, but I'm doing the same thing you're doing. You're my competition. Yeah. I'm trying to run. By the time we blow up, you do realize they're going to put us both in the same Grammy category. You do know that, right? Sir, go rock out. I support you from afar, but we are in competition. Like, bruh, we're in competition. I love you, but you're my competition.
So many people who aren't artists. Who are interested in what you're doing, and you can't even post a flyer and tell them that you're going to be at the lounge down the street.
Right.
You don't feel like you should have to do that.
Just post it, please, dude. Just please post it. Please. Please. Please, Jesus. No. Please just post it.
It's a requirement. If I book you for a solo thing, it is in the thing. And it says, I need you to do this so many times. And it's really light because I promote my things a lot, but it does, I want to be clear that it is a shared responsibility. Like, I don't have your friend list, so they can't necessarily see what I'm posting. So how are they going to know?
Exactly. Exactly. And my friend list may not be aware of who you are. So they may not be as excited to see you as your fan list will be to see you. Your fan list.
Your fan guys.
Your fan list is your fan list for a reason.
They're here for a reason. And they don't want to let them. So shout out to the artists that do let people know. You're the kind of person I'm like.
Yes. So shout out to all those artists and poets and creatives and everyone else that promotes their work and let everyone that supports them know that they're doing something, because I'm one of those people that likes to support people. And when I see that anyone, whether it's someone that makes my favorite T-shirts or bags or shoes or poets or books, you know, I'm excited when I see, oh my God, what? I can get a new book. I can get a new shirt. I can get some new earrings. You know, I can download a new track. I'm there. Let's do it.
Do not be modest about promo. Like, that's what promo is.
No.
Pepsi is not modest about promo. Target is not. Like, they're like in our faces. McDonald's in our faces, and that is the same energy that we should have.
Exactly. I think that artists should understand that, like you said, your fans followed you for that.
Because they want to know.
What did you think they were following you for? To see what shoes you were wearing today? Yes, and to see if you were going to post about a show. They want, I said, the and was in there. Yes, and.
I like an artist. I can get to an artist. Maybe they come on a playlist. And I'm like, who is this? Oh, I like them. I go follow them. And then I don't really care what they have for breakfast. Like, where you going to be at? Like, can I catch a show? whatever, you in the studio. I like that behind the scenes stuff. Like, you want to get to know them and what's happening. But if they don't post anything until they drop a song every 5 years, then you have moved on because it's very saturated over here. Out of here, you move on to the next person and buy tickets to their show. Like, don't you want them to come see you?
Exactly. It's just like, I don't know why artists think that it makes them cooler to not be social on social media. You're not Kendrick Lamar.
No.
Even with Kendrick,
Boring.
it's like, Kendrick, boy, if you don't post something, we don't want to know about your life. But post, come on. Could you do something? Seriously, Kendrick.
Even Beyonce gives the people something.
I was just about to say that. Even Beyonce gives us a little bit of something. She gives us a little bit of Ivy Tart. At all. She doesn't have to give us anything. She gives us something.
She does not.
She gives us something.
Yeah.
So talking about giving us something, you're giving us the Soul Dope Entertainment R&B Showcase. So tell us all about the showcase. What is that?
The R&B Showcase is the concept of it. I wanted to do a music series of live performances. And at each one of these shows, I only book one headliner. And they're required to perform their own music. And then it's in front of the audience. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. Hold on one second, because this person, I told them, I was talking to them, and I'm going to cut this out. But
like, can you put it on airplane mode while it's on here? I don't know.
I put this on Do Not Disturb. This artist that I'm helping out, speaking of artists, artist feeling entitled, I was talking to her all the way up until 1:58. I said, I have an interview. Why is she calling me? I said, I will text you when I'm done. Why are you calling me in the middle of my interview?
Your time.
I told you that I had something to do. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So let me do that question.
The R&B Showcase.
Go ahead.
Okay. The R&B Showcase is a live performance series. The concept behind it was that, I wanted to do a few shows, and I booked one headliner, R&B artist, indie, and they are required to perform their own music. They can perform with the DJ. They can bring band if they want to. And it's also a dinner party. I actually cater it, pick the food myself, because I like to feed people. So it's kind of like a Sunday dinner kind of show thing. So while everybody's eating, this artist is singing, but I also interview them live. So I incorporated my podcast into the show. So I ask them questions. They do a couple songs, ask them more questions, and then there's a portion where the audience can ask them questions. We had the first show, and it was amazing. So we're going to keep going with it. But I wanted to do an original concept and not just a showcase, book 20 singers, throw them up there, have them do some songs, and nobody knows what's going on. It's really personalized the experience and allow people to get introduced to a new artist, to really get to know them because they're asking them questions, and I'm asking them questions, and I have them pull out their phones and follow them. While they're on stage, and I'm staring at y'all like we're going to do this together. And everyone was really, really into the first one. We sold out. I'm great, this is a good concept. And the first artist that did it, she was just this is absolutely wonderful. Really, really loved it. They get a merch table so they can sell whatever. If they do jewelry and they do music and they do whatever, I try to support them. In addition to paying them, help them also make some more money if they are prepared with their things. Gotta have your things to be ready. But it was just a really dope concept. I just thought of it out of nowhere, and I like to just roll with stuff when it pops in my head.
That's amazing. It was out of nowhere. It was out of your soul. That's why it's the soul.
Yeah.
Soul Dope Entertainment Showcase. I love that. I love that. I love that. That sounds almost like my Sunday dinner cipher. I used to put this cipher together, and it was on Sundays, and I would collect donations for it was basically I would collect Sunday dinner. It would be donations. You have to donate food where we could make Sunday dinner for the homeless. So you would have to bring ingredients to where we could put a Sunday dinner together. And it would be on Sundays, and it was like a Sunday dinner cipher. So it would be like lyricists would come in and they would just do the cipher. And the only way you could participate was you would have to donate an item. You have to bring something. Yeah, so and then we would have our little.
That's really, really nice.
Yeah, I think I am gonna bring it back, and you could have, and then I would have the merch table for people too. So I think I've been thinking about bringing back. I've been contemplating,
Bring it back.
Which that was. I don't know if I'm gonna put this out. This is just between you and I might cut this out, but that was a part of. Yeah, that was a part of what I was thinking about doing when was talking about with you when I said I was coming down to do the interviews and stuff. That's what I was thinking about, bringing back my Sunday dinner ciphers. But it was going to be a part of like this series that I was going to do, so that's why I wanted like a little artsy place or whatever. And then I was going to change the donation portion of it because I'm like, if I'm going to do it out of town, I don't know how I'm going to do the donations. But I was thinking if I did do it out of town and I had people at my, disposal like you would know a place where we could give back to the community, and then I could give back in that area because I know where to give back here. But I'm like, well, I have Qamil and other people.
Yeah, I would just partner if you like do that in other cities. So the venue that we have that I'm using and that Jay's using for he has a Thursday open mic and he has a monthly Sunday for elements of hip hop thing that he wants to start doing. But that venue is very art centric. Part of it's like a art gallery, and a kitchen and everything there. And then there's a stage room where it will be perfect for something like that.
Yeah. But I would want to, but I would also, like I said, I want to give back to the community because that's what I use it for. So that was something else that I want to just figure out like the best place to give back to, because I didn't want to just come and just like, all right, cool, thanks. Because that's what it was originally for, was to give back to the community. So like I said, here I know where to give back to, but there I don't really know about the community places.
There's a lot of really good organizations that could benefit from something like that. There's one org that I really love that's called Motherful, and they support single moms, like with food and whatever else they need. And the lady that runs it is a Black woman. And so that's important.
All right, we can talk. We can do a sideline conversation. Good. Okay, yes. We can do a sideline.
We'll be here all day.
Yes. So we can do a sideline conversation and figure out how we can get people involved. Like I want as many Black people as I can get involved because that's my people, and I would rather it be Black.
That wouldn't be hard at all.
I want it to be Black. So we'll talk about it. But all right. Okay. So let's get back. All right. So that sounds. Let me. But I love that entire concept. Like I said, it didn't just come out of nowhere. It came out of your soul. But I really love that not only did you focus on the soul as far as soul and R&B, but you were feeding the soul with music, but you're also feeding the soul with food. So that just really shows what type of person you are genuinely on the inside. And I just love that you're able to have this outlet to showcase who you are as a person. And I just love just throughout these years that you've been able to just showcase all of your talents, not just through singing, but also through putting these events together and also feeding people, because that's a talent also. I don't know what some of these people are posting on Instagram, these plates. But I want people that are listening and keep
at that first show that they had roasted herb chicken and baked mac and cheese and green beans. He was like, "You cooked all this, and you came here and hosted the show." And
but Qamil,
was like, "Yes."
I need people that are watching this, and I need people that are listening to this to understand that cooking is a part of the soul. Some of these plates do not look like they're coming from the soul.
They're not. They're not coming. They're not coming from anywhere. They're coming from desperation and just being hungry. From necessity. It's like singing and soul singing. And there's cooking, and then there's cooking.
Exactly. There's cooking, then there's cooking, then there's singing, and there's singing.
Yes, there's singing and singing. It's the same thing with food.
Exactly. There's two different things. There's two different things. So not only have you celebrated your 10-year anniversary of your brand, which congratulations for that, but now
thank you.
You're moving into something new. You're moving into something. Look, as if running a company or being an entrepreneur wasn't hard enough, on top of being a mom, wasn't enough for you. I won't say hard. It's just challenging. Wasn't challenging enough. Mm-hmm. You have taken on the responsibility of launching an R&B label called So Dope Records.
Yes. So
tell us about that.
A few years ago, I did a test run. It was like, I'm going to start a label. And I wasn't ready, really. I was like, I'll figure it out. And it wasn't hard. I had like 8 artists, including myself. I didn't have like an actual structure. So it was more so like, we would go to the studio. Like, you want to do a project? You want to do a project? No plan for money. No plan for promotion. It was just like these talented people were always around me. And they were like,
did you even have distribution?
I'm like, I like what you're doing.
I said, did you even have distribution?
Yes. So I had that part because I've been doing that for myself. So I knew how to, put the money, the stuff out. But as far as having a rollout plan and like each artist, this is what we're going to do with your brand, like I would have set up a photo shoot. Like, I knew kind of what to do. But it just got like out of control. And I was like, no, F this. There is no more label. This is done. And then for 5 years, I was like, I'm never doing that again. That was just absolutely insane. But it was always from the beginning when I started So Dope that I knew that was absolutely what I wanted to do. I'm like, I want to have like Bad Boy meets like Motown. Like that was always what I saw. Like of all the visions, it was one day you're going to run a label. So when, life happened and all the things happened, and it just was still on my spirit, and it's just something that I could not shake. So then last year, I was like, oh my God, ready to do it again. I've learned. I have certifications. I've learned things. I know how to properly, execute this, and just because somebody's my friend who can sing does not mean they are going to be good to work with. That's very important. So I decided I'm going to do it, and it's going to be R&B. And I was like, I really want to work with Black female singers to start and eventually open up. But that was the new vision, or that is the new vision for So Dope Records. And I decided, hey, start with yourself.
Yes.
Find myself.
Yes.
And that's what I decided to do, and so that's what's happening.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Just growth.
Yeah,
I love
and it was that fear we were talking about of the why not, and it was like, I don't really have the money to start a label. Like, I feel like you need to have a certain amount of money. So then I started just doing more research, and it was just like, you have so many resources already. You do so much label work already. You have so much in place, there really isn't an excuse not to just get started. Mm-hmm. So I'm taking it out my own way, and we're going to do it. It's happening.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you're signing yourself, you already invest in yourself as it is. So going back to what we originally said, why not?
Why not? Why not? I was even like, okay, Black female label. I mean, I was constantly at Google and YouTube, and I'm like, man, it's not really very many Black female label heads or female label heads, period, in the entire industry worldwide. Like 13%, 3%, something like that. It's like insanely It's just not. But there's a lot of women who are starting indie labels, but not so much Black women. So I think that was just a seed that was planted a long time ago because that's just what I'm supposed to do. So I'm just going to make it happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you. It's a lot of hard work. I helped start an indie label 2 years ago, and it's a lot of work. It's just a lot of work.
I said that first round, I was like, oh.
But you're up for it, though. You're up for it. You're up for it, and that's the reason why you're doing it, because this is what you were meant to do, and you're your first artist, so I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
And you already went through that trial, so you know what you don't want already. So that's the cool thing, is that you know what you don't want.
A separate entity. I treat myself like, this is your schedule. Get you a blackboard or like a little cork board, and I have like the calendars on the wall. And then on this day you're going to record this, and this day you're going to record that, and I hold myself to it, like as practice for when I do decide I'm ready to sign an artist. I will have had a practice run with myself.
Yes.
Like those steps. How to do it where it's like a rhythm to it. So I felt 100 times more confident than I did 5 years ago when it was just, I just love everybody and you guys are so great and I'll just sing and just come into my studio. Like, no, that is not.
I love that, holding yourself accountable. But again, it goes back to what we were saying at the beginning, where we were talking about looking back on the past years and saying, wow, the lessons, looking back at the past years of being open and saying, like you said, oh, I'm going to sign everyone. And now you're like, no, been there, done that, don't want to do it again.
House, fried chicken, I will say there was no actual plan because I wasn't clueless. But of a project of that magnitude, to not only be responsible for my stuff, but for all these other people, with all their expectations, all of their, like, I want this and I want that, but not necessarily doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, I didn't have anything in place to hold them accountable for what, okay, if you want me to set up a photo shoot that you don't have to do anything but show up for, and then you don't show up, but then you want me to do, like, this is crazy. It was too much. It was too much.
Yeah. And it's just, just lessons learned, which makes this year the best year for you because you've already had those trials and tribulations. So now you know what you don't want and you know what you do want. So that's going to make this the best year ever. Not ever, because you're definitely going to grow into better years, but this is going to make this the best year yet compared to all the trials that you went through. So those were just your, you know, when you sign up for the trial package and see if it's something that you want. And say, okay, we'll give you 30 days for free, see if you really like it.
It was all necessary.
Yes.
That had to happen for me to understand paperwork, for me to understand setting expectations, for me to
accountability,
understand how I want the money to run. Like, okay, if I'm going to invest in this and I'm going to, you know, organize your album release party after recording all your stuff and after doing all of this, what does that look like once we actually put the music out? Like, I'm not doing that for free, but I also am an artist too, so I don't want to rip you off. I want it to be a good exchange of energy. And ultimately, we all got families to feed, so we got to figure out how this is going to be. But I also want to support you, but not so much that I am your label and your manager, because no. Absolutely not. So it was a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have learned any of that if I didn't have that experience.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Now I feel like I just have settled into the boss that I am, which I knew that I was, but confidence that you gain over the years. To be like, no, I know what I'm doing.
You have the experience now. You have the experience now to be a leader. Before you were a boss, now you are a leader. There's a difference between being a boss and a leader. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, a leader can get in there and do the job and lead the team, to a victory. A boss can tell people what to do, but they may not necessarily know how to lead people to their victory. You know what I mean? You actually now have
and the leader will convince you that you know what you're doing and instill all that confidence into you. So then we're like, yeah, we all rolling, we all got
this. And they're in the trenches with you, like, we got this, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got this, let's go. So speaking of being in the trenches and just building up your community, you have this community event that is that you're building, and it's coming up in May, and it's called Double Dutch. What is it called? Double Dutch and Brunch. Yeah, Double Dutch and Brunch, and it's a women empowerment event. So tell us all about that.
Yeah. So Double Dutch and Brunch started on accident, which I always say on accident. People are like, it wasn't an accident, okay? But really, my friend, shout out to Hannah, she made a post on Facebook and said she never learned how to jump double dutch. So I was like, oh my God, this is Black Girl Emergency.
Yes.
Never in her life. We're like 30 at this point.
Okay,
this
wait.
Is Black Girl Emergency.
I almost judged your friend, but before I judge your friend, I must admit, let me put my black girl thing that I don't know how to do, okay? And that I don't do. I don't like hot sauce, and I don't know how to play spades. So before oh my God, you don't know how to jump double dutch.
I mean, I know how to play, but I'm not going to get at the table because they're going to cuss me out. It's too.
Okay, and let me tell you why. That is why I don't play spades, and I never wanted to learn how to play spades because I don't want to sit at a black. I don't want to sit at a black spades table. So I would rather take the laughter of telling people that I don't know how to play than to sit at an all-black spades table.
No. God, no. I actually had a spades and brunch event because the guys were like, we want something. And we have beginners tables and teachers and everything. So stuff be happening. Double Dutch was kind of started the same way. She made a post. She's like, I never learned. I'm like, oh. And then everybody comments, like, what do you mean? So I'm like, no, let's just go to the park and show her. And the next thing I knew, I had booked a parking lot. Like, it turned into, like, a thing. Shout out to Maroon Arts Group. They have a box park out here. They supported us the first couple of years. But next thing I knew, we were in the newspaper. It was like a whole thing. That was, like, year one. So what I did was we would go jump double dutch. And then we would go to a black-owned brunch spot afterwards to eat. And it was supposed to be just grown women. But people started bringing out their nieces and their little baby girls were out there. People brought their grandmas and aunties who had just wanted to do something that they had enjoyed, for a generation. And it turned into the most beautiful thing. So we did that first one in 2019. Skipped 2020 because pandemic, and it was crazy. It came back last year at the same location, and it was the same thing. But when we brought it back this time, I collected donations and went and got the food. So we had food on site. So people could jump, and then go get the waffle or chicken sandwich or whatever, and then get back to jumping, drink lemonade water, and it's been amazing. So this is the third one that's coming up. Technically, it's year 4 because it started 4 years ago, but yeah.
I love it. That's such an amazing idea. I love it. Double Dutch definitely brought my family together. I learned how to jump double Dutch in Chicago, actually. So I know that there's different styles of double Dutch in each area. God. They're like, this is Chicago. What'd you say?
I'm a coach. I'm a double Dutch coach. I like to come out to your event and, like, if you need instructors, and I'm like, it's really not a structured thing. Like, we're going to be in the parking lot. I go get the rope. We lay the ropes out. We set the food table in the water, and people come. And it's great because people
are serious about double Dutch. Girl, listen, I want to come to this, but I'm not jumping, and I'm definitely not turning. Because people are serious, because if you don't turn those ropes the right way, people will cut you.
So there's sections too. So you can tell, like, the season, like, for real, they still do this. They be over there. and then you got the little kids over there who might be doing a single row, and there's people
Yeah.
teaching each other in the middle, but it's all Black women. Like, so it's so freaking dope to see it. And
They
you
are
have a DJ
serious.
out there.
I love
and it's a good time.
It's like, no, you are double-handed. You cannot turn. You're double-handed.
Yes.
Do not turn. I don't want you.
Aunt or mom teaching their nieces or their daughters how to turn the boat. And but while they're over here doing tricks over here, I just be walking around like, oh, this is so cool.
I love it. I love it. And you know what I love about this? And I love that you're doing this is because as Black people, especially Black Americans, we have to show that we have our own culture. You know, a lot of times we feel like, or we're made to feel like because we didn't grow up on the continent of Africa, we are the lost Black people. You don't have a culture. You don't have a this. You don't have a that. And there's so much that we have made for ourselves here, but because they make us feel like we have to be so inclusive of everyone, we're the only people that have to share everything. Everyone else gets to have their own thing.
White women.
You don't make.
Bring my white friend. I was like, you're one. I was like, no.
Exactly, and it's like, you know, it's just like we're the only people that have to share everything. Everyone else, you know, you get your Oktoberfest. You guys get everyone has your thing, and we're always have to be so inclusive, and we love everyone. Yes, you can come, but it's just like, no, this is something that we do. We have spades tournaments. We play bones. We jump double dutch. You know, we braid our hair and we do different things. We have cookouts. We line dance, not country line dance. That's not our thing. That's your thing. Our line dancing is completely different. And this is Black American culture. No, we didn't grow up on the continent of Africa. You know, no, we may not have, some of us grew up here. We may not have like Haitian culture if we're not Haitian. Some of us may not know of Haitian roots. Some of us may not be Jamaican American. Some of us are just Black Americans. And this is a part of being a Black American. And this is our Black American culture. And we have to celebrate this. We have to embrace this and continue to showcase this and say this is something that we can pass down and have as our own memory and our own culture and stamp it as this is a Black American thing. This is ours.
I'm so proud of our things and proud to be someone, you know, hopefully, I mean, I don't know what people do now, but years from now, it'll look like that woman really, like, contributed to things and really created things that can hopefully my daughter and kids take over and put their own spin on this stuff one day when I don't feel like it anymore, you know. But it was just with Double Dutch, seeing people teaching, like just those little moments of complete joy when I look back at the pictures and there's a 5-year-old who just figured out how to do her first little thing in the rope, and it's like, wow, I really put this together, and there people are having a good time. This is why I do all the things that I do, so that people can have a good time, whether it's Double Dutch or Photo Christmas, which hopefully I can bring that back. But I'm also, for listeners, having a baby, so I'm doing all of this very, very pregnant. On a time schedule, like, okay, I got like a little bit of time, but I still want to do things. And I just turned 40. I want to throw that in there, too. 40, having a baby, and then there's so many time limitations.
So wait, guys, you're saying it really fast, but I want to point that out. If you're watching this or if you're listening to this, Qamil's having a baby, okay?
A whole baby.
A whole baby.
And
she's a wonderful 40-year-old woman carrying life right now, okay? Let's just pause for the call. She's a wonderful 40-year-old woman.
Yes, wow.
Why are all of my 40-year-old women having babies now? I'm leaving that to you guys.
I don't know.
Why are you guys doing this? I don't understand. I'm not saying it in a negative way, but you're my third 40-year-old woman that has had a baby or is having a baby. Why are you guys?
Amazing. I don't know. It's not even something that I was a very firm, if I don't have what I have by this age, that's it. Like, I'm going to have this label by this age. I'm going to have this. I'm going to be singing in Europe.
Yeah.
And, like, doing all these things because society really tells us
Yeah.
by a certain age, you should have your property, and you should have your husband, and you should have this, and you should have that. And it doesn't necessarily play out that way. So what do? Like, not do anything because you turn 40? It's like,
this is a why not. This is a why not moment. Like, seriously, all of my 40-year-old sisters have either just had a baby, or their babies are turning 1 or 2, or they're pregnant now.
It was not anything I would have ever imagined. I imagined a lot of things,
but not
when I turned 40. It was not taking a pregnancy test on my 40th birthday, and there being 2 lines.
Wow.
I was like, I just feeling a little weird, you know. Check it out, and I was just like, oh my God.
You turned 40, fabulous and feisty, girl.
40, so then I had to decide, do I just be 40 and just be pregnant, get a little job, and just be pregnant? Or do I, when I feel better after that first trimester, go full speed ahead with my stuff? You know, get as much done as I can so that I can feel good about what I have accomplished, and then have a baby and chill out for a few months, for a little bit, and then get back to it. I decided on the ladder. I'm going to just do Double Dutch, do the showcase, do whatever, and plan ahead as much as possible. You know, and plan so much. But I think that subject of turning 40 and the expectations of what we should and shouldn't be doing, that's a whole conversation in itself, and a really good one.
Absolutely.
And as an artist, you know.
But I'm looking forward to seeing you look fabulous in 40 and pushing your baby in the baby tram, just up there singing your heart out and just looking fly with your baby. Girl, listen, just...
You know what I always think? If Beyonce's not old, and I'm not old because she's 3 months older than me.
But 40's not old. Like, girl,
it's not.
It's not. That's why I said I'm just imagining the baby with his or her little fly fit on. You got your baby tram. Yeah. You look amazing. You're pushing your baby, and you're running your business.
Sequence for everybody.
Listen, I'll come down there and we can walk together. I'm not going to have a baby next to you, but I'll walk next to you with all of my big children. You know, I'm not volunteering to have one with you, but I'll volunteer.
I can't recommend it.
To push I'll push the baby tram for you. Okay?
My friends are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm being mom, I guess. You know,
living life and loving it. Listen.
Living my life. I had COVID last year, and it was not good.
I had COVID in December. I got it in December, and it was, and I still can't smell anything. That's why I said life be lifing. Life be lifing. You got to use they got to use bad grammar. Life be lifing. When things like that happen, you go to the bad grammar. You just have to say life be lifing. It is what it is.
COVID, double pneumonia. I thought it was like a point I was like, oh, this is probably it. I can't breathe. Like, it feels like it felt like drowning from the inside. And I was like, okay, well, so many people are dying from this stuff, and it's probably from getting to this point and going back and forth to the ER. So I could have easily not been here. So being able to be here, be healthy, even though I still can't smell, like you said, mostly, and for God saw fit to give me a new life, literally, like, drop a new person in there.
You went from not being here to producing a new life. How amazing is that?
I could have been dead. Could have been gone. Could have been out of here. Really easily, because it was really sick, and now I'm fine, having a baby.
Exactly. Do you understand how crazy life is? Like, you were not gonna be here almost, to going from that to being here and bring a new life.
And creating art and back in the community and just culture and R&B, and it's a blessing. And I am like you said, the gratitude. Who am I to not be grateful?
Uh, just,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
This is why
Yeah.
I love being grateful for life. This is why
Yeah.
I'm big on affirmations. This is why, when people are like, why are you always so positive on your page? Because this, I can't not be positive when I wake up. I'm not going to,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those people that I've had people say that I get on their nerves because every time they see me, I'm always smiling. Well, then continue to be angry at me because I'm never going to not smile when you see me.
You're angry. You're annoyed by my joy.
Exactly. You're going to continue to be annoyed because you don't know who I just had a conversation with. Just having a conversation with someone that just told me that they almost died last year to turning 40 and now having a baby. Like, I'm going to smile even bigger today. Like, do you know how much gratitude that made me have, how much more gratitude that gave me for life? Like, I had COVID last year. So, speaking to someone else who had COVID and knowing what COVID did to them and it didn't do that to me, I was ready for it to be over. Like, like it was not good, but I didn't almost die, but I'm still grateful for just even what I went through. I'm still grateful for still being here, but just talking to you, I'm even grateful for you surviving what you survived and just knowing that you're now growing a new life just gives me even more gratitude. It makes me more grateful for life. It makes me want to have even, just affirm even more things for myself. It makes me want to put even more, just manifest even more things for you and your business, to breathe even more positive affirmations over life for things that you have going on. It wants me to make sure people support your brand and what you have going on, even for things that you posted on Facebook that happened to you and your family that I know about and other people know about, and just seeing how you live through that and that you're still able to put your showcase together and your community, and the fact that you still
I didn't want to.
That's what I was going to say. The fact that you're still grateful enough about life, that you love life enough to think about the community and everybody else. After all the things that you've been through, you still want to cook for people. You still want to give back to the community. You could have just said, forget this. I'm not thinking about these people. I'm having a baby. I almost died and I lost everything. I'm not thinking about any of these people. I'm thinking about me, my family, and my life. But you didn't do that. Like, you, listen.
I didn't even think
Qamil,
about that. I'm like, do
you understand?
My mind.
Do you understand who you are right now? How powerful of a black woman you are? How much black girl magic you have right now?
Cross my mind.
Do you understand that?
People need to be on stage.
Yes.
People need to feel good.
Exactly.
That's my thought process.
Right. And for me to know you, why would I walk around not smiling? Like, I know you. Just me knowing you makes me smile. So why would I? Girl, listen.
You're right. Well, how do you think like people? You make people happy.
Exactly. So for me, I'm very grateful to even be in the company of someone as amazing as you. I am very grateful that you took time out of your day to even be a part of Conversations with Cream. And you are black girl magic. You exude black girl magic. I feel like you're amazing. You have an amazing voice. I want everyone that listens to this to support you. I know we didn't get into all the things that you went through last year, and because I didn't want that to be about that. I didn't want that to be the thing that we discussed, because it happened. You lived through it. You know you lived through it. I know you lived through it. But I wanted people to know about all the amazing things about you.
Like, people just know it was wild, and I shouldn't be here.
Exactly. Like, I just want them to be like, what did she go through? Because, because your imagination can run wild. So I feel like their imagination can go wild enough for them to be like, wow, whatever it was,
it probably happened.
Exactly. That's all I wanted to be. I wanted to be just like that. But us speaking about women and you pouring into so many women, and your event is about, the community event that you have in Man's About Women, I can't let you go without asking you about self-love and women empowerment. And I don't care how many people tune in and say, oh my gosh, she asked everyone this. Yes, I do, because it's important, okay? So please tell us what self-love means to you first, and then tell us what women empowerment means to you.
Self-love now means a lot different than it used to be. It was very like, get my nails done, take a day off work, which is cool, and you can do that. But for me now, it just really means focusing on things that bring me peace and that bring me joy, whether it is that or all the things that we talked about. I know that at the core of me, service and showing love to others makes me just feel love from like the inside out, which is how I love myself, by loving on other people. And binge watching shows and just, with my kids. It all sounds like, pouring into other people, but we don't live this life alone, So for me, service is self-love for me. My grandmother was the same way, and she left that in me. Like, I can't even think about just the word love, even for myself. It's always going to be around caring for people. It just is. Yes, I do the things, and I eat the snacks that I like, because I think all of that is important. But being in community is loving myself, really. It's important, and it just means love me.
That's your love language.
That's my love language. Just, being there, giving a good piece of advice. It doesn't drain me. When it does drain me, then I log out and, take some time to myself. But I like notebooks. Like brand new notebooks makes me happy. Post-it notes makes me happy. A lot of little things in addition to caring for others, I would say. It's not really just one thing.
Yeah. I found a fellow notebook lover. I have a whole bunch of notebooks.
I might write on 2 pages and then move on to the next one.
Listen,
so many notebooks around.
I have notebooks that I am like, I don't even want to write in you.
Some of them are too pretty to write in, and switch the feet. So it's like, duh, you could just buy another pretty one when you're done with that one.
Yeah.
So I might have 8 of them in a book bag because I wrote different stuff or ideas or a start of a story or whatever in different things. It's ridiculous.
Same. My bookshelf is full of books and notebooks. And yes, a fellow notebook lover. I didn't think that I didn't think that we existed. Maybe we should start a club.
No.
I don't know.
Notebooks and Post-it notes. I would write all kinds of crap on Post-it notes.
Me too. I have Post-it notes where they're all bent back because I won't peel them off, and they're just stacks of them bent back, and I just wrote all the way down. I think I use them. I write notes. I write little positive notes for I call them my kids. My kids are big, but they're always going to be my kids to me. And I stick them on their door so when they wake up, they have notes on their door. I write like little positive things for them, and I stick them on their bedroom doors.
Yeah. So. I draw flowers. I've been drawing the same flowers since I was like 8. And I'm like, that's like the first thing I do when I open a Post-it note is draw the same exact flower. And it's so weird on every one. And it's just maybe a little quirk of mine.
Oh.
And that flower is in the notebook. My signature flower.
That's amazing. I love that. Thanks for sharing your self-love with us. So how about women empowerment? What does women empowerment mean to you?
Women empowerment is, to me, not looking at another woman's awesomeness and seeing it as a threat. like, and not, in addition to not seeing it as a threat, being excited to share the great things that you find out that other women are doing, and being completely in the knowledge that shining the light on somebody else does not dim your own light at all. It is supporting each other. It is finding ways to be in community with each other. It is asking, how can I support you? How can I help you sincerely? Or seeing a need. For example, if I see that there is fan artists, like a newer singer, and they're struggling with something, or they're posting that they're frustrated about something, like reaching out and being a resource, or at least offering to be one. Or even if, you need to run an outfit by me that you're thinking about doing on stage, wearing on stage, that I'm here. Just letting people know that you're there and genuinely meaning that. It empowers other people, and it also empowers you to be there and to be real with other women. I don't know, just supporting each other in any way possible, because, again, we don't live this life alone, and no one can understand us like us. We go through, the players may look a little different, but we go through the same stuff for the most part, and just knowing that and being all in your womanhood and supporting other people as they grow into their womanhood. That's empowering to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And again, I really appreciate you for having this conversation with me. I look forward to attending as many of the So Dope showcases as I can. My schedule, you already know, is crazy.
I know.
But I'm looking forward to coming to at least one. And I really want to come to the Double Dutch and Brunch community event in May. So I'm hoping that it's on a date that I can come. Yes, please. I want to come to that as well. I'm hoping that it's not on the day that I'm supposed to be in Atlanta. I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping that it's not on one of those days. But thank you. I hope not. But thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to having more. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.